Today, going to discuss about the client administration part. So, till now we have completed the work process administration. That is the one of the topic. The next topic is the client administration. Client administration part here. This is the second topic. So, which we are discussing here. That is called the client administration. Right. So, client. So, what is client in SAP? So what is client? So in SAP, client is a one of the business entity, one of the business entity here. So client is a business entity in SAP where you want to run the business, you need a client. Where you want to run the business, you need a client here, right? So client is the one of the business entity here. To run the business in SAP means to store the data, business data, you need a client here. See here, so you are opening the SAP GUI screen to log into the SAP. When you click on OK but login button, you will get the client, right? So without client, you cannot log into the SAP system here. Client is the mandatory field. So you are logging to the client and you can business data and everything, you can store it here, right? So by default, we have the 000 and 001. These two clients we will get from SAP, right? So normally client number should be always 000 to 999 in between. So any number 000 to 999, any number you can choose it. But means 1,000 clients in one SAP system, 1,000 clients we can create it. But already the two clients already SAP is providing default clients, master clients. So except these two clients, the remaining 998 clients we can create in SAP. But we don't have any that type of requirement to create the 900 plus clients. Maybe one or two or three clients we can create it for the business purpose here. But production should be only one client here, right? So to manage the client data, to manage the business data, we need a client. Client is required here. To manage the business data, you need a client is required here, right? Client administration part. So first of all, how to create the client, right? So for the client creation, what is required here, right? So to create the client, so client creation, we have to do it using the SCC4 transaction code. SCC4 is the transaction code to create the client, right? So using this transaction code, we can create a client in SAP system here, right? But for the client creation, there is a dependency for logical system creation. Dependency task is logical system logical system creation here, right? So client creation, we have to do it in the SCC4, but for the dependency task is logical system, we need to assign to the client here. So logical system means to identify the client, within the system or within the landscape, we need a logical system here. So why? Because suppose in a landscape means we have the development system, we have the quality SAP system, we have the minimum three systems landscape, production SAP systems here. We have the three systems landscape, development, quality, and production. We have the three systems landscape here. So each system here, we have the 000, 001 client. Each SAP system you will get 000 and 001 client, 000 and 001 client. So you need to install the three systems like this, right? So but here you are going to create a new client. Suppose like you are going to create 100 client for your business, 100 client here as well, 100 client here as well here, right? So within the system, you have the three clients. Then how the business data will be differentiated, right? How the, why? Because in this client also you have the data, in this client also you have the data, in this client also you have the data. Then how the, so business data will be differentiated here, right? How the business data will be differentiated. So to differentiate the business data, we need to have the logical system in place. We need to have the logical system in place here. So that the logical system naming convention will be, so logical system is to identify the client within the landscape, to identify the client within the system, then we need a logical system here, right? The logical system naming convention is here, the SID, CLNT, then client number, SID, CLNT, client number here. Suppose your SID is the ECD, then ECD, CLNT, client number 000, then ECD, CLNT 001, then ECD, CLNT, suppose 100 client, then 100 client, right? So based upon this logical system naming convention, based upon this logical system naming convention, your client data will be saved. Your client data will be saved into the clients here, right? Based upon this logical system naming convention here. This is a logical system naming conventions. Why logical system? To identify the client. So because within the one SID, multiple clients. In this client also we can store the data. In this client also we can store the data. In this client also there is a data, right? Then how the differentiation? By assigning the logical system field, by assigning the logical system field, by assigning the logical system field to the client. So the data will be separated. Suppose in this client you are saving the username as a Ravi. In this client also you are saving the username as a Ravi. But here also Ravi user you are saving. But three clients, three same users, then how one SID, then how the data will be segregated here. Why? Because here, if you want to log into the SAP system, you need to have the three different users. Each client you need a separate user here. Each client you need a separate user is required here. Right? So then 000 client, then your user is required. 100 client, your user is required. So each client, your user is required here. Each client, your user is required here. So in that case, each user this is required. Then in this case, how the data will be separated? Why? Because database is only one. For database is only one. For this system, database is only one. For this system also database is only one. DB is only one, but multiple clients. But multiple clients data is saving into the only one table. This data also saving into the one table. This data also saving into the this table here. So multiple clients data saving into the one table. Then it means all the data, all the SAP data, either any client data, only one table is available in the database level that is storing here. Means three same users, then how that is possible to store the data? There is a duplicate, right? So whenever you create the user or data in this client, the data will be saved in the name of logical system field. In the name of logical system field. So here Ravi user in this client, Ravi user in this client, Ravi user in this client, it will be stored here. Ravi user in this client, that will be stored here, right? So three different users that will be created here, right? So this is the way we can store the data. That is the reason we need a logical systems. Without logical systems, your data will be duplicate, right? Always, because already in one table, already Ravi user is there. Then again, you are creating one more client Ravi user. Then so same already a Ravi user is there. Please choose the different user. Then that is not possible. Only because table is only one table, but all the clients data storing into the one table level here. So then the differentiation will happen based upon the logical system field. Logical system field, the differentiation will happen here. So that is the reason. That is the reason we need a logical system for each and every client here. Based upon this logical system field, your client data will be saved here, right? That is the main thing here, right? So here what you need is you need to create a logical system before you go ahead and create the client here. You need a logical system before you create a client here. right? So client creation, we have to do it in the SCC4 transaction code, but logical system creation, we have to do it in the either sale or BD54 BD54 T codes. BD54 T code, we have to use it here, right? Let's go ahead and try the creation of the
Model. For each client, there will be a different logical creation.
right. That is what, right? Yeah. So client is associated with the so one of the logical system. So based on that, in that client, whatever the data you create, so the data will be stored same table, but the differentiation is the logical system field here. So in this way, we can find out, okay, these all entries are related to the so 000 ECD 000 client. So then these all entries are referred to the this one, like that we can pull the data. So if you go to the SEC4 transaction code for the client administration, there are the lot of clients are there here. See, lot of clients are created by our guys only, right? Let me take the one more system, our ECD system here. So here also, let me, normally we cannot do business in the 000001. So only one of the custom client we have to create it here. So here, what I'm going to do here, click on the display change button, right? Click on the new entry. What is the client number you are going to create here? Suppose like 400 client, right? ECD 400 client naming convention, right? Then what is the city of the client? Suppose like, so city of the client. So it's kind of a London. So logical system field. Then where is the logical system field here? Then you need to create the logical system. There is no 400 client logical system here. But because here 100 client is there, 150 client is there, 107 is there. There is the logical system field here. Nothing is there. So that is the reason. So before you create the logical system here, the dependency task is logical systems. Before creating the client, then you need to create the logical system in the BD54. Go to the BD54 here. Then click on the new entry. What is the logical system? SID, CL and T 400 client. ECD 400 client here. ECD 400 client here. Okay. So the data saved here. This is the transport request is getting created. So that is doing here, right? So 400 client you created here. That is done. Logical system you created. So let me take new request. So we need to save the changes into the one of the transport request here. That's what we are doing here. Done. Data is saved here. So now logical system you created separately. Now when you click on the browse button, you see there is a 400 client. Then so your logical system naming convention is SID CLNT 400 client. It is the NW1 system here. So then we have the this currency. This is the logical system field which is available here, right? So this is the way we can create the logical systems here, right? What is the currency? Currency means so euros, right? So then, so currency, what is the currency of the client here? That currency, we need to define it here. What is the currency of the client here, right? Then what is the client role? What is the client role? Is the demo client or training client here, right? So like that logical system creation, we have to do it here. Like that logical system creation, we have to do it and save the changes here. Otherwise, you can see here. So whatever the client currency like INR Indian rupee. So here city you mentioned like London. Then the client is located in the London. Then London and London means euros. Whatever the currency you can. This is the optional field you can make it. But here these are the client settings here. These are the client specific subject settings here. Suppose if any person they want to do the changes in the system, if the settings are not allowed, then people cannot do any changes are here. If the settings are allowed, then people can do the changes of the objects, data, something configuration changes. They can perform it in the system. They can perform it in the systems here. That is what we can do it here, right? So in case of if no changes are allowed, then only client specific. So in this 100 client you are creating 100 client changes, 400 client changes you are doing. So in the 400 client, the people cannot do any changes here. Means no manual changes are allowed. That's what no changes are allowed. This is a cross client. Means repository and client other specific changes are allowed or not allowed. So like that, these are the client settings here, client copy, client settings here, client specific object settings, and cross client means that is applicable for the all the clients here. That is applicable for the all the clients here. So that is the main thing here, right? So client specific and cross client specific and cross client changes are here, right? So this is the main thing here, right? So here no changes are allowed, no changes are allowed. So which means, so no one cannot do any changes in the 400 client directly. Why? Because you changed the client settings like no changes are allowed, no changes are allowed. Sometimes you may development system means developers, they will do the directly in the changes. In that case, you may have to open the changes here. You need to open the changes to perform it here. Then you need to change the changes, then click on the save button, then people can perform the changes in these systems, right? So this is the way we can create the client in the systems here. This is the way we can create the client in the systems, right? This is the client creation we have to do it here. So like that, so we can create the number of clients in the systems here. But if any business use case, then only we can create it. For practice purpose, we can create multiple clients. You can create it here. Practice purpose, you can create the multiple clients. Then someone defined the wrong logical systems here. See, 999. What is that 999 here? See, this is a wrong logical system creation. 999 they have defined it. That is very, very wrong. So which means here, the logical system field 999 we have to create in the systems and W1 system. So sale or BDLS transaction code, we can do the changes here. So this is the client creation before that logical system creation here. Before that logical system creation here, right? Client and the logical systems creation here. So client creation, client copy settings. So settings are very important here, right? So why? Because if the developer wants to do the some changes in the system, so we need to open the settings here, allowed or record the changes here, changes without recording, and no changes are allowed. If no changes are allowed means people cannot do any changes here. Apart from that, this any changes, people can do the changes. These are the repository changes and cross client customized objects. Any one object is related to the all the clients. Cross client means all the clients. Client specific means specific to the one client. So this is a client specific means specific to only 400 client changes only. Cross client means it's specific to the all the clients. Specific to the all the clients. They can do the changes here. If you open the changes to the all the clients here, then there will be a, so if you allow this one, there will be a, so production, we should not open the client. We should be closed status. Why? Because production means production system, live business, then people cannot directly make the changes in the production. It should come from development only. Development to quality testing will happen, then finally it will go to the production, right? So that is the reason, as a best practices, production, it should be closed status, quality production. Only development systems, your client settings are open status. Open means they can make the direct changes in these clients here, right? That is the client creation. So using the SCC4, we can create the client here. Go to the SCC4, just you can go ahead and create the new entry. Then we can take the new client, then client number, city, logical systems. But before that, logical system is important. Then first create the logical system in BD54. BD54, create the logical system. create the new entry, then create the logical system BD54, ECD, CLNT, 500 client. So then once you create the logical system here, click on the save button, right? Save button, then save the changes. Then logical system is created. Then only you can do the changes. Why? Because in your system you have the 100, 150, 400, 500, 4107 is there. All the clients data is specific to the client specific here. If you are saving the 400 client, if you are doing something, the data is specific to the 400 client only. It is not applicable for other clients here. If you are doing, if you are using the user, if you have used the user in the 100 client, it's not like that you need to use the same user password in the 400 client also. Why? Because so data is the client specific. Some data is the client specific, which means only specific to one client only. But database is only one, DB is only one, but table is only one. Then how the entries are storing into the table level here? So the entries will be stored in, this is a table, right? So this is about like user records table here. So the table name, the table means here rows and columns in the table, right? So here username, so username here, then so username number. Then finally, one column is like a so logical system logs is field here in the table level, like that entries will be there. So your username Ravi, number so maybe 123. So what is the logical system field here? Which means logical system means in which client specific, right? So then ECD, CL and T 000, same user, basis user. Then same one more user you are creating. Then this is will be the duplicate. If you don't have the logical systems, what will happen? This is the duplicate entry. Why? Because user is same user already exist. Then how this user will do the work, right? So then same, but here logical system field is different here. ECD, CLNT, 100 client here. Here the logical system field is different here, right? So based upon the logical system field, your data will be stored into the table level here, table level here. So in this way, so you can log into the same user and number with the 000 client. You can log into with the same user and number with the 100 client also here, which means so all the data residing in a database level, there is a one table, that table level it is storing here. So how the data is storing based upon the logical system here. So logical systems here, the logical system here. So that is the reason the data storing it here, right? So this is the way. Definitely, for the client, definitely the logical system field is very important. Without that one, so the data will be the duplicate and you cannot filter it out which one is related to the 000, 100 client, 200 client, like this, right? That is the main important thing here. That is the main important thing here, right? So that is the one thing we have to do it in the systems. Okay. So that is the
Hello.
client administration, client creation, and logical system creations here. Okay. Then it's not like that client administration completed. It will take another 4 days. Okay, 4 to 5 days. But there's a lot of subtopics are there here. Then then after that, sir, client creation, you have done it here now using the 100 client or 200 client or 400 client you have created. 400 client you have created. Then 400 client you created, then how to log into the newly created client, right? That is the main thing here. How to log into the newly created clients here. So there is a there is a parameter which we have to change it here. Before that, so did you understand how to create the client and how to create the logical system? Why is logical system is very important for the client? So what is the transaction code used to create it? What is the syntax to follow, create the logical systems and everything? Got it? Any questions, anyone?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, I missed the first 5-10 minutes, so I'm like, can you explain from like briefly from like what is the process? I missed the process.
Okay, that's why people has to join in advance. Why? Because if I explain now, others also feel like differently. Okay, so the thing is here, this is the logical system field. This is the client creations. To perform the client
Okay, sir.
creation, logical system is very important. First thing we discussed about the what is client here. Client is a one of the business entity. Entity means organization. To run your business, to store your business data, you need a client in SAP. So we have the SAP multiple clients we can create it. So from the number like 000 to the 999, any number you can give it. But already during the installation time, 000 001 clients will come. Default clients will come. So in these clients, you cannot store the data. These are the master clients, only master data available. Then apart from these two clients, any number, any other client you can create it, 100 client, so 200 client. Then you need to log into these two clients and we need to store our business data. We need to save our business data in these two clients here. So that is the main thing here. 100 client and 200 client, we need to store our business data. We have to store it here. For this purpose only, we need to have the client creation. As of now, you guys are logged into the NW1 with 000 001. You are doing the transactions, that is fine. But the functional people, if they want to log into the business, so they need to open any one of the client, they need to log in and they need to do the business here. They need to open and they need to perform the business use cases and everything. Suppose like NW1, they need to go to the system, one of the apart from that, these two clients, you need to log into any other client. You need to store the business data here. For this purpose, we need a client creations. But to perform the client creation in SEC4, we can create the client, but there is a logical systems also required. Why? Because that is the dependency. So each client, there is a differently logical system naming convention is there. So this name, based upon this naming convention, we need to create the logical systems. So these logical systems are very important for the client. Without logical system, your data will be the duplicate. Duplicate means if you don't have the logical system field, what will happen? Same user, you are trying to create the 100 client, 200 client, same user and same password. How this will be replicated? Why? Because we are in the database level, we have only one database and a table. So it will not be stored. So that is the reason. So for client creation, logical systems are very important. Logical system means to identify the client within the landscape, you need a logical system. That is the abbreviation for client logical systems here, right? So this is the syntax we need to use to create the logical systems here. So SID CLNT client number. Using this syntax, we need to create the logical systems here. Then all will be saved in the table level. It will be saved here. That is what we discussed. So BD54 for the logical system and SCC for client creation. So before creating the client logical system, we have to define it. Then go to SCC4 means client creation. Then there go to the edit mode. Then click on the new entry. Then here we need to define the client name and city, logical systems. So logical system means before you created, then you need to browse the logical systems from here. You need to browse the logical systems from here. So that is the main thing of the main thing here. So then whatever the 500 client, then 500 client logical system, then 500 client. Suppose you have 600 client you are creating, but if you define the 500 client, there is a issue, inconsistency here. Whatever the client you are choosing, your logical system also, it will be related to the 500 client only, right? Then these are the client settings, client specific settings. So cross client settings. Client specific settings means in SAP, people they can directly log into the system under 500 client, they can do the changes, object changes, table entries changes, they can do it. But development it is allowed and production it is not allowed. Then how they can do the changes and how can we restrict the changes for doing? Then in this case, we need to do the settings, we can change it here. So these settings, if you not allowed, then people will not do any changes here. If the settings are allowed, then people can do the changes here. Like that, we need to do the client settings changes here. So production, it should be closed status. Development, it will be allowed status. Okay. So
Okay,
that,
sir.
Sorry,
Thank
sir.
you.
yes, please.
Sorry, I have one question because I missed that. Triple zero in a triple zero current, what is the data actually there
Master
in
data.
triple zero
Master data.
master data?
Master data means
That
company
means
codes, SAP standard data will come. Standard data, master codes, master roles, all will come.
okay, and 001 client.
Same backup of the master client. This is the 000 is the master client. In case of if you corrupt the master client, we have the 001 client. This is the backup of the master client. Same data, but it will be the backup. Same data will be available in the two clients. So these are the two master clients SAP given to us.
And one more question: whenever we execute the T code SSC code, we are getting one pop-up. What is the meaning of that pop-up?
What is the pop-up? SEC4.
If you
That we can ignore it until our register is just information. That may be the information. Okay. SEC4, click on the change button means it's just
yes,
information. It's saying that the table is the cross client. Table is the cross client means, so cross client means it's applicable for the all the clients. Means whatever you are doing the changes here, other clients also it will be affected. Other clients means cross client means the table, whatever the data you are storing here, that is storing in database level, the same other clients also we can see the data. So that is the reason. Class client means it's applicable for the all the clients. Client specific means only applicable for the only one client which you are doing the changes here. So cross client means all the clients here, cross client. So this is the cross client, which means all clients. It is applicable for the all the clients here. No, no, no. I want only client specific means only just to only client specific. You can do that one. But SEC4
one,
change the cross client.
okay. One more thing regarding this changes and transport for the client specific object. Could you please go to the yeah. So the first object changes without automatic recording. That means the while while updating a client, while you are working on the client, so it won't ask for the generated TR, create a new TR. That means
Yeah, without means the logs will not be saved. Without recording means the logs will not be saved. So suppose you are doing some company code changes. So you are doing something, but what is that something you are doing? That changes will not be saved. Who is doing and what? So, but if you choose select this one, automatic recording of changes means if you are doing the changes means that will be recorded in the somewhere. So okay, this is the person. He went to this object. He done the some changes in the system. If you choose this option, so you cannot choose. You cannot do the changes in the system. If you choose this option, with no transports are allowed, which means the transports are allowed. We can do the changes. So without automatic recording and no changes are allowed here. Which means so without recording the changes, no transports are allowed here. Here both the cases the transports are allowed. Means it will ask the recording the changes, right? Definitely it will ask the changes.
okay. From me, we want to select that with the last option. If we select the last object, it will
No,
allow to
no transports are
change.
allowed.
But transport will not generate. Okay, but we can update the client, right? It means we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do anything.
Changes without recording. Without recording means you can perform the changes, but there is no record what you done the changes and there is no record. There is no up. There is no log entry. Nothing. Nothing will be happen. So which means no clues what you have done the changes. But if you do the changes are here, but there is a clues what you have done it and what changes you have done it. All the changes are recorded here.
Means in short, the log will generate. Means we
Right,
can
right.
see the log.
Right.
Okay. And the second, regarding the cross line changes, could you please explain that?
Cross client
These are the
changes are
options.
same as like same thing only. Cross client means there is a repository table level and a cross client customized objects here. So in the cross client we
Repos-
have the repos
Repository object means
repository objects. Repository objects means programs, reports, structures. These are the repositories. It will come in the database table level. So if you want to do the some changes level, if you want to do the some programs, reports, structures, elements, class, objects in the data SAP means SAP level. So you need to use this option. Okay, that will be allowed. Cross client and repository changes. No, I don't want to change the repository changes means, so no repository changes, no cross client changes. Even both are not allowed means just you can do the, just both are not allowed.
And below client copy settings, like
These
there
are
is
the
one.
different client copy settings means when you are doing the client copy means other client data to in this client. So if you just put the restriction, no one override the data in this another client. If you do the this no restrictions, they can override the data. So then this is the no one cannot override the data. This is also no one cannot override the data. No external availability means external persons also they cannot do any data. This is a security level. This is a client copy security levels here. This will come in the client copy. Suppose there are two systems here. So here this is a 100 client and this is a 100 client. You have the data here. You want to, as part of the client administration, we have a one topic is called the client copies. When you're copying the data from in this client to in this client, but in this client already data is there. So you don't want to allow other systems client copy data. Then in this case, you need to keep the no overwriting. So which means client copy cannot be performed in this client. In this 100 client, client copy cannot be performed. Why? Because the client copy, the production levels are 1, means no overwriting. 100 client, no one cannot do any changes in the 100 client here.
Means in a target, you need to select that we have to do the change. We have to change the client settings, right?
Right.
While performing a client copy.
Yeah.
Not
So
in the
in
source.
case also, if you want to perform it, maybe in the actually production, everything should be closed status. Client copy production lines. Why? Because this is a dangerous settings. If you allow the changes are in the these are some dangerous settings. So which will people can. So that's why except production remaining only development, it will be open status. Why? Because developers definitely development means the changes will be performed. So we should open all the changes in the development. Except develop production it will be closed status. We have to close all the settings, client copy production levels, all the things we have to choose it and we have to do the changes here. So except this one, this have to perform. Yeah.
So I believe actually these things will be closed quality system as well as production system, right?
Right. Only development it will be settings are open status. Remaining
So
systems
because
will
of
be
the
closed.
developer will change the we will do the development activities so
Right.
that it will be open for the development system. Even
Right.
sandbox system as well if required.
Right.
Sir, in AD 54, when you create a logical file of naming convention, it is creating a TR.
Yeah, it will create a transport
So
request.
so we can do that TR if we require some same kind of logical system in quality and production.
Yes. We have to move it. That is the procedure.
Basically, I'm asking why it is creating a TR.
Why you cannot perform direct changes in the quality production systems? That is what we are discussing, right? That's why you have to save the changes into the one transport request and we have to move to via TR transport request. We have to move to the quality and production.
Okay.
Then you are asking why we have to create the TR means that is the SAP nature. SAP nature means you cannot do any direct changes in the production. So you have the subsequent systems are there, development and testing systems. You are doing something means you cannot do it here. You have to come with the development. Here they have to test it successfully. Then only you can move the transport to the production system here.
So what I need to understand actually in this scenario that the development system, quality system, production system. Okay, we will do the development in the development system because actually the reason is in the production system if you do any changes there may be a production business impact will be happen. So because of that reason What we will do, we will changes in the we will change the, all the changes in the development system. Then we will move the data through the transport request from development to quality.
Right.
The
Right.
quality system we will test. Then after testing, then we will move that same data into the production system. The changes will be applicable in the production system. That's what I know actually. Is that okay, sir?
That is the correct understanding procedure. Yes, right. So now you see in SEC4, in the 100 client settings I have closed. So which means no changes to the allowed, right? So now when I am trying to create the logical systems in the BD54, so this is the information. Just click on the OK button. But so it's saying that changes to the repository and cross client settings are not permitted, which means you are not allowed to the changes in the 100 client. Means you cannot do the any changes in this system. Only display possible. There is no creation button for logical systems because of you closed the client settings here. You closed the site client settings here. You closed the client settings like, so no changes are allowed, like that you done the changes here. So that is the reason you are unable to create the logical systems here. This is a one perfect example why we will not allow the changes. That is the reason we have the three systems in our landscape. If you are installing the one SAP system product, means that product contains ECC, then that ECC system contains the development, quality, and production. Some organizations, they have the 5 systems also, regulation and UAT. So then if you are installing the S4HANA also 3 systems, development, quality, production systems here. So this is for the business. Live business will happen in this system here. In this system, live business are happening. Sometimes what happen, live business 100 clients are happening here. Sometimes there is a issue or there is a requirement to add the some search button or some other functionality. Then in that case, people will not directly, the developer will not directly go ahead and production. It will not do anything here. Why? Because it's a production. There is a lot of testing. Why, if we do this directly here, the developer, something is happens, and there is a business loss here. So that is the reason what will happen. People will go to development system. In the development, they will do the all the development. They will do that functionality. They will do the development here. Then they will via transport request. They will move to the quality. They will do the testing. So they will test it whether this functionality working, are there any impact on the other existing code or anything. Then testing is successful, no issues. Then after some time again they will move to the production here. That's what. So once that functionality will be used by the business here. That's what the business scenarios will happen in the live production, live systems in the real organizations. So they will do the developments, testing, then production. Same thing, right?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, means like we will create one client in development with a logical system. The transport we are moving it to quality and production, right? So same client and same the data will be moved to the
Right.
production.
Right.
That's correct.
Right.
Right. Means like whichever clients we are creating in development, that will be reflected in production.
Right. What you want to do it here, same way you have to do it here, then testing, then production. Sometimes the testing will be failed. Then once the testing is failed, then they will stop it here. They will not move to the production. Then again, they will go for the rectification TR. Then they will do the rectifications here. Then again, they will record the changes in the transport request. Then they will move to the here. If it is failed, again they will go back and they will do the changes here. If it is failed, again they will go back. They will until testing is success. Then they will not move to the production. Because production is very critical. Live business data, your business impact will be there. In case of production, something is happens, so entire your data will be crashed. The live suppose live IRCTC, you are booking the ticket, something there is a new change happened, so then entire all the functionalities will be gone. So that is the main thing here. So carefully we need to perform all the changes. That's why production, when we are moving the changes to the production here, so the client managers, client directors, everything, client team, who is the business owners, they should approve these changes are going to the production, either small change also. these changes are going to the production, there is no impact. So they will validate it, testing is successful or not. Then only they will approve. Then only the changes will go to the production transport request. There are a lot of procedures are there in the real time.
So one more doubt.
Sir, I have one question, sir. While we are moving this year to the quality and production, so that time we have to change the SID for that thing. In our development, we have created ECD. So by moving in quality, we try to do ECQ or as it is we move on our thing.
Yeah, these table changes, we have to do that one. So the logical systems, definitely we need to do the SID specific, right? Logical system. This SID specific means the quality production entries also we have to create it here. But data means data, there is not the SID specific, and data is not the SID specific. Data means the business data, functionalities, tickets, not the SID specific. That time, so you can some objects, data. Those are, we can move it without any data, without any client. Those are the client, the system specific, so we can move it. So some configuration is the system specific, means SID specific. Then SID is like example our BDLS changes. BDLS is the logical system field. So if you are moving to the quality, then quality development related entry, quality related entry, production entry, 3 entries should be there. Then we have to move the changes to the here, and here to here we have to move it. But object, suppose like I say SAP objects, normally developers will do the changes of the SAP object program. That program is not the SID specific. The program is same program here, same program here, same program here, any client. But they will move the change, they will do the adjustment, then they will move the changes to the here. Then they will move the changes to the here. Only logical system entries are the SID entries will be there. Those things, that times we need to create the ECD entries, ECQ entries, and ECP entries in the logical system field. We have to do the changes.
Sir, one doubt, sir. Here, like we have multiple clients, right, sir? Like 100, 200 in development quality. But if we want to move the specific like TR from 100 to 100 development client to like 200 in the quality, is it possible, sir?
Yeah, that is possible. That is possible. That is the reason we have the upcoming topic is called the transport management system. How the changes will move to the only specific client, and not all the clients are one specific client or many clients. So with the transport management system, there is the option. So that time we can move it. Yes, that's possible.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I think you guys can practice that one, client creation and logical system creation. Tomorrow we'll discuss about the how to log into the newly created client. Why? Because in the newly created client, we don't have SAP star DDIC user. Existing master clients, you will get the users and you can, but newly created client, that is you created. So there is no data. Then how can I log into the newly created client and pull the data? The topics will come. So don't miss it out. So please join it. Okay.